What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more hip-hop. We're going to listen to some UK hip-hop. We're going to listen to a tune by The Dice from 2013. Now, it's funny, The Dice, who, each one of their records, I have 4 EPs from them. They're all on Beetroot, but at least 3 of them, and maybe the 4th one too, are all in conjunction with Stay Up Forever. I think maybe just 3 of them, because I think one of them is actually the original Foundation release. Go back and check. I've reacted to, I think, the original version and 2 acid-techno remixes of that track. But despite the fact that I have multiple tracks by The Dice, there's no biography on Discogs, and I suppose I could ask around some people who definitely, would know, but I have not done that. It makes me think maybe it's a duo just because The Dice, it's 2 die, so it makes me wonder if that's the case. Regardless, as I said, they've released records in conjunction with Stay Up Forever, and on 3 of the 4 records, there are acid-techno remixes, including on this one, and we'll listen to the acid-techno remix of Roll the Dice. But it's interesting because the regular version of Roll the Dice, which is a hip-hop tune, is on this record, as well as a hip-hop tune called Impulse of War, and that's what we're going to listen to, which features amazing vocals, not only from another artist, a male artist in, I think, the UK punk scene, but also Tiddles, also known as Carmel, the lead singer of Dogshite, and who is, just a really cool acid punk. I've reacted to the EP, the first EP from her label, Bitches Witches, which is part of the Stay Up Forever label collective. Check out all 4 of those tunes if you haven't heard. But yeah, she's on this, and again, her voice works amazingly in punk, it works great in acid techno, and it works wonderfully in hip-hop here. So, and it's a hip-hop tune which has a more electronic vibe. Again, hip-hop in different places has different flavors, UK hip-hop, French hip-hop, obviously American hip-hop. And yeah, this tune has an electronic flavor, even though it is hip-hop. So, I really enjoyed this. I do wonder if there aren't some vocals in this that are included in the remix of the other tune, Roll the Dice, in the Chris Liberator and Sterling Moss remix, because I swear Tiddles' voice is on that track too, but she's not listed as being on the Roll the Dice tune. So either way, we're going to listen to Impulse of War by The Dice, 2013 on Beetroot Records, so I think it's also listed in the Stay Up Forever catalog. And this tune, featuring, as I said, Tiddles, aka Carmel Reynolds. It also features Jason James. That's the other artist I was mentioning. And let me see if I can get an indication of what group he is in. Resigned to Fate. And Resigned to Fate is apparently a punk rock group. I'm not sure where they're from. It looks like it says the U.S., so maybe he's from the U.S. Either way, here we go. This is The Dice, Impulse of War, featuring Tiddles and Jason James, from 2013 on Beetroot. And the lyrics are very dissident, in favor of humanity rather than war and military conquest, corruption, avarice. Sort of that distorted bass.
Revolution ages. Avoid the propaganda. Impulses of war.
Against one another.
I try not to slaughter my brothers.
Children growing up.
Affected by war.
Standing on the front line.
Settling the score.
Fighting without them.
Mothers and fathers.
Killing machines.
And modern day myers. For stars it's applied to all religion and cultures.
Mass genocide.
And brainwashed vultures.
They don't possess.
And the ingrained purpose. You are not counted, classless, worthless.
Sounds British though, right? And Carmel is definitely from the UK. I feel like the other voice, Shirley, as well.
Society mixed.
A one more view.
A vision
lighting in this one is fine. Sounding the alarm.
Efficiencies and kill millions for the health of the wealth and liberate the abandoned disposables left upon the shelf. We should all have a chance to live out our own constitution and embrace freedom of speech for this passive revolution. Cause I'm shaking with anger and frustration. The world's poorest countries are battling the shadows of war with the help of the United Nations. Cause the vibrations of the darkest eyes drive up on the backs of the deprived. The remedies of this ignorance is bliss. We withdraw our wishes to miss with their rockets and to fill their pockets with the crude sick destruction. The disruption to families brought to shame and hunger. No longer have a chance to fight like thunder. Have a chance for a roof to live under. These are only a fraction of the cold dark secrets war keeps locked away without a key to its coveted hides. Cause if we're all sailing on the same ship one day, we might stand a chance to change this blood red tide. And one day, peace will survive.
I surely hope so. And indeed, it's not something to view as a potential end game. It's something you have to live, you have to manifest it, and only then can it start happening on larger scales. So, yeah, I love a lot of that. I really appreciate, socially conscious hip hop. Going back, like Jurassic 5 is a group I got into. Sage Francis is an artist. I don't know what he's doing these days. I haven't paid attention for a few years, but he was definitely a politically conscious and, socially admirable in terms of, rhyming about, let's say, oppressions and marginalizations and so on, things which are not just about, lyrical swagger and so on, although, not only Sage Francis, but all the guys in Jurassic 5 and so on, they certainly have that as well. But yeah, I do like socially conscious hip-hop, and this is definitely in that vein. Again, shout out to Tiddles, shout out to Jason James, which surely he's from the UK, even if the group he's in seems to have released their music in the US. But yeah, bottom line, really enjoyed that. Definitely more of like an electronic sound, like a techno hip-hop mashup. But what's funny, because again, this is showing my ignorance, but most of the hip-hop that I follow is either, from the 90s or early 2000s, so it's, maybe not... I'm not as knowledgeable on the different subgenres and so on that have proliferated since then. But I remember hearing at some point someone was saying, oh, well, trap is basically like if you mixed electronic music like house or so on with hip-hop. Yeah, so I don't know if that would technically be considered trap, or if, trap is its own thing and it's not like what we heard there. But either way, I would say that's a very, electronically influenced hip-hop tune. So once again, shout out to all involved, including the Dice, which maybe one person, maybe two people, maybe more, not sure. But yeah, shout out to Beetroot, shout out to Stay Forever, and Chris, of course. And yeah, we'll come back for the Chris Liberator and Sterling Moss remix of Roll the Dice, which is the other hip-hop tune on this track, and or on this record. And at some point we'll come back for that one too. But yeah, do let me know what you think, and we'll see you next time. Peace.